Good morning. Come on in if you want to have a seat and scry with me and see what messages Spirit may come through. I did something a little different today that I'm working with as I'm doing the signs coming up for November. So here's the ink blot that has inspired this session, and I'll utilize as a portal to connect. And I'm going to close my ink just so I don't spill it. That will happen. So if you'd like to join me, we'll close the eyes, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. Okay, when you're ready, and if I may, as always, thank you for holding space so I can share my insights. And if you want to take a screenshot of the ink blot so you can scry in your own time, here you go. And I'm inclined to write things. So I'm going to go with that as I see them. And then we'll add on some tarot and oracle. Okay, so from your perspective, as I scry through, I'm seeing two like hips to head, and then either these are octopus tails, and or those creatures from lore, maybe even TV shows. I'm not entirely sure. Nothing's standing out, but like they have the bottom of a beast and the top is a person. I know they have like an actual name, or I think they have a name. That's what I'm seeing. But even more interesting as I turned it my way to perceive. So the heads are like, oh my goodness. Their heads are like old-fashioned people, like back in the day, maybe justice-y feeling. They would have like white wigs. And that's just the time frame. But it's like they're talking. And they got big bellies, full bellies, full bellies. And then there's this. I don't know if they're thinkers, writers, conversations. Okay, I'm gonna flip it here again so I can dig in if you don't mind. I don't know the time frame. That's okay. Something about hair. Kind of like maybe letting your hair down. What else is coming through? Thank you. There's a little snapping turtle. But it's feeding on things around this conversation, around this void. Because I think this conversation is being had in a different dimension, time. It's like if there was a veil that I could imagine in my mind, or some sort of boundary between worlds. Both of these people have the ability to do what they need to do to not go through the veil. Or maybe they came through, like the portal, if I may, but they have a conversation on top. That movie, is it City of Angels, where they all stand on top of really high things to like take in the sun and converse with each other? That's how it's making me feel. And these little snapping turtles here, they're feeding on things that are trying to be projectiles, something about projectiles at the back of these people conversing. Now, whether you can relate and resonate that maybe this is an aspect of yourself, different consciousness, parts of the mind, there is in the space between I'm trying to sneak a peek. something's growing between them. This doesn't have to be an actual other person. I'm not sure if I said that or not. Or it's you in spirit if you're working with that. Sorry if I shake the camera. But they're like peering in. Like, yeah, is the conversation happening? Is it? Oh my goodness, there's so much shaking. I apologize. Different spaces in my house have different things, so it's always okay, but there's some sort of battle being had. I'm gonna release my bookmark. Thank you for a moment. And the ink is wet, so like really, really close in here. And if you did take a snapshot, you might be able to like zoom in, or if you're like me and you're gonna get out your, yeah. So as these beings have left a trail, they have left a trail to have this conversation on top of this hill, which is on top of the portal, the gateway. And it's like a curtain that draws back. This could just be symbolic of how it feels for me, but it draws back. And this trail that they leave, it's like there could be other elementals, energies, entities. Good, bad, or ugly is not my judgment call, nor my concern. Other than they are being protective. Like the very energy of trailblazing leaves a trail. And there are other energies, entities, and entities that work in these trails to protect. I just shook the camera. To protect those that congregate, to converse, to connect. I really need to find a better way. That camera is very, very, very shaky. Something about water. So there's water, and this gateway may be under water. Like I'm seeing all the water here. So this curtain gateway to this hill. I think I'm trying to, like, I wish I could almost like get coordinates. But I think these coordinates only emerge when particular people connect. It's like each soul is part of the coordinate. So you don't really know that you know you're a piece. To make it happen. I don't think everyone has to be in the same place and same time. That's the interesting thing about this conversation. I'm seeing two people, but I don't necessarily know that it's in regards to just two people. I think it's a place. And I just happen to be viewing. Oh, I'm adding on tarot and oracle now. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe. It's a place. But there's something that holds, like, is always watching, like, kind of squinting to hold the light of this location. Because everyone leaves a trail. Everyone leaves a trail. Now I'm seeing like those lion things. Beast on the bottom, beauty up top, for lack of a better word. We have success coming through. And I want to note that in the back of the card, I'll do my best here. See, like all that? It's reminding me of the water there. Success. And there's a lion in the bottom. Again, lion and a lady. This could be aspects of the self where you meet. I'm not getting the sense it's the astral realm, to be honest with you. I don't feel like this is the astral realm. It's a density within a density. That's a really odd way of saying that, but I'm going to go with it. Okay. Is there anything else we have here? Leadership. Success and leadership. If you want to take anything in there. Both of these cards are in the same coloring. Okay, and then there's like a bull beastie thing, right? So that's what I'm saying, like the bottom of this beast or, you know, hybrid animal human. Celebration and discovery. Oh my goodness. I just realized, like, when my hair's like that, it kind of looks like whatever, it's fine. Somebody's a deep thinker. Maybe yourself is a deep thinker. This is the place of deep thinking. There's another lion. Very protective. So when you go to this space, recuperation. So maybe you go there to recoup, to reconnect with something, someone's. It's celebrated that you're there because you can go and think and you can contemplate and connect and talk wisely, even if it's enjoyable. Like, I feel like sometimes wise conversations are very serious and they're, you know, thinking. And yes, that is one part and parcel of a deep thinker. And then there's another part that's very playful and it's joyful, like being in a sandbox and laughing, because that's when things come up. And it's enjoyable to have a blend and to discover more. But I think the people alive or moved on, different density, people are being led, following a call, and there's a success here. Okay, where am I adding on here? We're going up here. All right, thank you. I'm going to start getting ready to close. If you're resident, actually, you know what? Before I do completely, I'm going to flip what my husband calls my Laura Croft journal, my blot book. See, there's that celebration. I get completely distracted. It's, you know, like, yay, cheering. And then there's almost like horns or like do 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 do. It could be elephants as well. It's very different to scry through the camera. It's a really wonderful alternative perspective. And then I also get different shadowing as the ink is drying, so it starts to move in real time. Are those fish fossils? Sorry, I gotta turn it. Okay, so depending on which way I shouldn't say you, but you know, one presents itself to the portal, knowing the coordinate that you complement. There's two ways to access it. One's a little bit smaller, and one's the whole, like, drawing back the curtain, more dramatic. Oh, there, those are monkey tails up there. This space is highly protected by creatures I'm not even sure my mind can wrap itself around. So I think that's why a lot of hybrid things are coming up. But they work together. Like I can see the closest thing, like if it was like an electric eel with this monkey, that if you see it from this way, it's a monkey tail. But if you can change your perspective, it's the trunk of an elephant. Like shapeshifters. And there's like a being at the bottom here, which I saw on top from the one perspective. But then this one, it's the smaller one. It's actually the same size, but depends on the perspective. You reach for it. Confidence is coming through. Something about those, I don't know if you can really see that, like those angel feathers. They were in another card of leadership. Feathers and feathers, leadership. No matter what kind of terminology one might prefer to use, whether it's this current incarnation's culture, lineage, learnings, adaptations. And bear with me for a moment, because I feel like in this space-time, I'm acknowledging those and I'm respecting this incarnation's understanding, you know, this, that, or the other. In this space, all of that is mixed into one. So the concept of holding on to or favoring one or the other, it's all like in the book. Does that make sense? Like it's all there to be utilized to inspire interdimension and interconnected intention. I'm not really sure. But this being in there understands which incarnation is coming through. Okay, so it's that hybrid feeling. Bear with me, and I apologize because there is a lot of information coming through. So in that hybrid, remember when we were talking about the hybrid with the animal? Now, it's like taking the individual understanding that, you know, right here and right now, I, Stephanie, am of Polish descent, and English and Scottish, I think, is in there, and Lord knows what else. Okay, but here I am, skin suit mindset, but maybe I've also learned about, you know, Hinduism or Buddhism, or something else, and I've really personally adopted to that as an example, okay? So then I end up creating my own understanding in this lifetime. And I'm not bound to this life's elements, but they're there for a reason to work from, to move from, to honor, to respect, to transform, perhaps. So this hybrid feeling in this space-time, and I'm really not trying to trigger anybody if I am, in this space-time, the hybrid of all lifetimes of your spirit is one. And maybe that's why the conversation is so curious, because it's holistically hybrid. Oh my goodness. Okay. I feel like I've already taken up too much of your time, so I'm going to get ready to close here, and thank you for empathically exploring with me for having literally the courage. There's another lion, and the commitment. Courage and commitment to explore words and ways without getting stuck on something. And if one gets stuck or pauses to contemplate, may we do so consciously or even creatively to ensure we're still in that critical to creative thinking, with the PowerPoint being consciousness. Is there anything else for those that have stuck with me through this very eclectic ink blot? Something about water again. Travel and happiness. Travel was the main card that came through, but happiness is on the bottom. So I think if you are with me here, there is this wonderful opportunity to consider like an observatory. Maybe sometimes it's like this being that I see. Maybe it's another version of you that observes. But I think whomever you are, and I'm going to say, like, it generally aligns with empath, seer, sensitive, psychonauts, which are just simply existence explorers, right? There's a lot of travel. And it's not about saying that happiness isn't here and now. It's not about ignoring the human existence, the human adventure. The fact that you're here, I'm here, we have made a courageous commitment. And when we go to this space successfully, it's like another container to converse with others that are connected consciously, creatively, critically, to celebrate the holistic experience of not only being human, but hybridly also a soul and also a spirit. And then having other selves existing in different times and being in different people. Well, they're not different people. Anyway, okay? They too. So while I'm here and now as this version, there could be another version of me existing in 200 BC in a completely different skin suit with a completely different lineage. All of those things, different DNA, different pros and cons, whatever you want to call them, different elements at work. But it's all happening. And in this place, this mixture, this crock pot, this octopi, understanding is opened, and the trail in leaves a trail back like breadcrumbs, so you don't remember it all and like over complicate, as I'm probably overcomplicating this conversation trying to verbalize this. It's like, but bringing breadcrumbs back, and then they're scattered through different people, places, or things, so that they're re-inspired, and you still have free will to decide if you want to pursue that inspiration, pursue that irritant, and make it an inspiration or information. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I feel like I'm carrying on like a crazy person, and that's kind of the funny thing, because I feel like too many breadcrumbs come back. Like if you brought the whole loaf of bread back, I think other people can, like yourselves, can compassionately resonate. Like you don't want to sound like a crazy person, and get locked up type thing. But there's something comical about it when there's an understanding if it's a creative language in this space, and the linearity lends to it, but the journey really is the reward, and it's fun and it's playful and it's highly enjoyable, and totally grateful you've stuck with me through this. So thank you.